Hello and welcome to the City Farmer. My name is Lily, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I cut up this tree branch and make it usable in the garden. As you can see, this is a very big tree branch and it fell off the tree in our nature strip over there at the back, and it was just like a bit on the road already, so we moved it into our front lawn, and now I'm going to cut it up so that I can use it in the garden. So I have my gloves, I have just a bucket where I can put all the smaller pieces, and I have some secateurs over there, some smaller and larger ones. For the really big pieces I might have to use a saw, and I might need a bit of help with the bigger pieces, but I can already start with these smaller pieces over there. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. It's pretty time consuming actually. You can use special machinery like, I don't know, chainsaws, electric saws, a mulcher or chipper, I don't know how you'd call that, obviously would make the work way easier. But if you live in the city like I do, I don't think you'll have a chipper, or possibly any really big machinery at all. So that's why I'm just using my hands and some secateurs, and then later on a saw, and then possibly a jigsaw depending on how tricky it is with the saw. So this is just what I've done so far. Now we're going to get into what you can actually do with all of these materials. Number one, compost. This is probably one of the most common things, and just by far the easiest thing to do with excess leaves, bark, sticks, twigs, things like that. You just chuck them on the compost. As you can see at the very back, I have all of the bark which just fell off the tree branch, and then just as a top layer on my compost bin I just put a bunch of tree leaves, branches, things like that. So this is a very easy option. You just throw it onto the compost bin or pile. Like in this case, this is our compost corner. If the leaves and twigs are dead and dry and brown, you can use that also, especially in compost bins, as a brown source for your compost pile. Number two, mulching. The leaves and twigs, especially when they're cut up into smaller pieces, make excellent mulch. As you can see here, I used some of the leaves which I cut up to top up the mulch around our lemon tree. If you have a chipper, it pretty much does all the work for you, as all you have to do is just put the branch down the chipper and you have nice wood chips which you can use as mulch. But if you live in the city or in the suburbs like I do, then you probably don't have a chipper. So I just quickly cut this up by hand. This is another great option, and what happens is the leaves and the twigs, they decompost, acting as a fertilizer, but in the meanwhile also protecting the soil and the minerals. The mulch also keeps in the moisture and it's just very handy to have. It also can suppress weeds. Number 3, which is staking. You can use the sticks to stake. Number 3, staking. You can use the sticks, as long as they're quite sturdy, to hold up other plants, like for example peas or tomatoes. You just have to make sure that they're sturdy enough to hold up the weight. This is a great way to actually also save a bit on money instead of buying bamboo stakes and other supports for your vegetables. Number 4 is using the wood for fires. Now it depends on the type of wood you're using, but a lot of woods can be used in fires like bonfires or even just in the house heaters. These smaller twigs would be great for kindling, and then these larger pieces could also just fuel the fire. The even larger pieces can then be also used in a fire. Just before you start a bonfire, make sure that it's allowed in your area. Another option is to fill up large pots or raised beds with sticks and logs and branches, and you can even use the really big logs in this case. This works especially well with the larger pots and with raised beds, and you can fill them up to a certain amount and then fill up the rest of the pot or raised bed with soil. This can save you a lot on money and on resources. Just a few other options include using the larger wood for carpentry and building, using the branches as animal bedding, or even just using it as crafts. There's a lot of different options, and it also depends on the different types of woods that you could use. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more. Thank you and see you soon.